What I ate as a vegan in Liverpool, England. Liverpool is a city of about 500,000 people in the northwest of England. According to Happy Cow, there are 7 all vegan and 9 vegetarian restaurants. I went to Sanskruti Restaurant for dinner. This vegetarian restaurant had clear vegan labeling, which I found not to always be the case in US restaurants, but it was universally true in the UK. I started with a dosa with mushroom filling. I really love dosas, and this was the absolute best filling I've ever had. The mushrooms had a wonderful texture and were really spicy, but not burn your mouth spicy, just surprisingly flavorful considering it was simply mushrooms. I would recommend ordering this dish specifically. The dosa also came with sambar soup and a cooling coconut chutney, a perfect mix. I also ordered chana masala, which is definitely a vegan's go-to and has been my go-to for years. The tomato sauce was rich and tasted very homey in the best way. When I was eating it, I remarked that this preparation tasted more like my homemade chana than most restaurant dishes, and I enjoyed it immensely. The menu also includes some unique dishes that I haven't seen before, such as banana curry. I would recommend going to Sanskruti Restaurant, and if on a weekend making a reservation. We didn't, and luckily they were able to seat us. I think everyone will find something interesting, flavorful, and delicious here. I went to the all vegan Go Falafel. The restaurant has some counter seating, but it seems like it mostly does takeaway business. I got my falafel platter to go and ate it in a nearby park called St. John's Gardens. The platter was really large with many different salads, and also not pictured here was a large, fluffy, warm pita. There were many different salads, but my favorite components were the fried cauliflower, al dente green beans that were in a salad, and beets. The falafel were nice, hearty, and crispy. I went to Bundobust, an all-vegetarian Indian restaurant that also has a brewery in nearby Manchester. But this restaurant also had many of their beers on tap, and I opted for a sour beer made with mango, peach, and passion fruit. It was definitely tangy, and the mango delivered. It was a nice pairing with the small bites I got from the menu. I started with the mixed breads, which had potato and cauliflower masala filled paratha, and a bread called delpa mixed with fenugreek and spices. This was served with a tomato chutney and achar pickle. The chutney was very mellow, but the pickle was a little funky for my taste. We also got okra fries that were breaded in chickpea flour and fried and finished with a nice black salt and an amchur mango powder. I got the tarka dal and rice. This is another classic for me. It's just so creamy and filling, and it's well seasoned but not spicy. Also, I got the kachumber salad with bitter leaves, cucumber, cabbage, mustard seed, and lemon as a counterpoint to the creaminess. The vibes of Bundobust and decor were very cool, and the food and drinks were really, really nice. If you're looking for Indian food in Liverpool, come for unique little bites at Bundobust, but I would say go to Sanskruti Restaurant for that mushroom dosa. It was incredible, but it is hard to compare. These were definitely two different experiences and worth trying out both. I went to the all vegan The Vibe for breakfast. I'll start by saying I just really loved this meal. It was one of the highlights of the trips. I don't often get a really nice vegan breakfast, especially one so filling and that's full of vegetables and not greasy. A lot of American breakfasts are greasy. So you leave feeling fresh and good for starting your day. We got the full English with sausages, tofu scramble, potatoes, house-made beans, Savoy cabbage, mushrooms, and sourdough toast. We also ordered the hash stack, which had lots of roasted veg, including parsnips, potatoes, carrots, kales, and cabbage. And the bowl was topped with a vegan fried egg and cashew hollandaise, some greens, pickled onions, and pepitas. My overall comment is the charred cabbage should be on every breakfast plate, heck, maybe even lunch and dinner plate. It was so naturally sweet but savory. It was a 10 out of 10. The other veg were also perfection, especially the crispy potatoes. As for the egg, which I think would be a highlight for some, I don't really crave eggs. I actually prefer tofu scramble, but this preparation is a novelty, of course. I would say the egg white tasted more eggy from what I can remember, and the yolk was a little sweet. It did run when you cut into it, but the flavor and mouthfeel wasn't very fatty or unctuous. I was stuffed after that breakfast, but I didn't want to miss their extensive pastry case, and I'm so glad I didn't. I got the blueberry bakewell tart to go, and oh my, I really like this. It's so almondy. Every bite is so flavorful, exquisite texture, truly divine. I highly recommend the vibe. I also went to Organico, which is an all-vegetarian restaurant with many vegan items labeled on the menu. I really wanted some veg that day, so I ordered the Bundobust, which had barley, lentil sprouts, spinach, beetroot hummus, cumin roasted chickpeas, avocado, roasted sweet potatoes with rosemary, roasted red pepper, and some sweet onions with a tahini dressing. This bowl was really filling, but also kind of basic, maybe something you could make at home, but it hit the spot for what I needed for that meal. The best part was the herby potatoes. Everything worked together really nicely. I really wanted to try a vegan pastry or a slice of cake, but unfortunately they closed up the pastry case about a half hour before restaurant closed. So pro tip, order your dessert early if you have a sweet tooth.